Hey everybody, got another mod here for you. This is going to be another one of these 2-in-1 videos, a mod and a review, both. So, let's see, the review side, this is a Glarry GTL teletype in a transparent yellow natural, or something like that. Basically, it's a yellow stain with a clear coat. And on the mod side, I turned it into more or less a clone of a 1950 Fender Esquire. So let's start with the review. Sorry about the finger there. Yeah, so this is a Glarry GTL. And I just saw it, and it was real pretty, man. One-piece body. Yeah, look at that. Nice graining, beautiful color, everything, man. It's a very, very, very pretty guitar. Yeah, the black pickguard goes well with it. The white maple fretboard, all of it. Very pretty, very pretty. You know, it's got some issues, but yeah. So, okay, so let's start at the top end. This thing is largely stock, except for the Esquire modifications. It comes with, you know, baseline tuners. I just now pulled the plastic, protective plastic off them. That's how little this guitar has been changed from original. And it still has the original trees on it. It's the original nut. The nut, let's see how we're looking here. Press it down a second, and then how much clearance we got. Well, that's low, man. Look at that. That's the lowest out of all the guitars last 3 or 4 guitars that I've checked today. So that's a nice low nut, like this Rogue here. Nice low nut. Coming on down, as usual, this has already been set up, so it's all good in that respect, intonation and everything. 6 versus 3 saddles. It doesn't really. God bless Leo, man. This is another thing that, you know, if it really needed the intonated saddles, he probably would have put them on. He was. You know, he wasn't a musician, and his background came from electronics and amplifiers and not really from lutherie, but the guy was a good engineer, you know, so yeah, there's no intonation issues with the fact that it's just got regular old style saddles on it. One thing that is as you can see, it doesn't line up here. I don't know what the deal is with these import teles. I've got like, you know, God, how many teles do I have? I got like 5 of them. One of them's a kit kind of a thing. But yeah, apparently there's like short ashtrays and long ashtrays and or bridge plates, whatever you want to call it. And the guitars that are coming from overseas tend to be routed for like one or the other, and then the factory switch, and I don't know what's going on, but yeah, you'll see a lot of this right here on Glarrys. You'll see it on no-name Glarry types, or, you know, the same thing as a Glarry basically, but with nothing on the headstock. The logo's been removed on this one. I did such a good job. It's really, really hard to see that there's a very slight difference in coloration and sheen where the logo used to be. It actually kind of went underneath that a little bit, but yeah, so I'm getting better at that. But anyway, yeah, so originally it was a Glarry. I picked it up because it was pretty. and it's just kind of hung on the wall. You know, I tried it out first. Yeah, let me finish the review stuff. So let's see. Coming on Glarry. Yeah, where was I at here? Yeah, good nut. Frets are about what you would expect. Let me see if I can get this here. Yeah, okay, there you go. Right there you can see. I think what they're doing is they've got one of these milling things that can come right along and cut both the edge of the fretboard and the end of the frets at the same time. Don't go out of focus. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's apparently this is a process which is pretty common in mass production guitar building, and is a time saver, and it gives pretty decent results. I mean, this thing is only rough right up here, you know, like the last 4 frets are about the only rough ones. So, and the rest of it's okay. I mean, it's not, you know, super baby smooth or anything. It's not as nice as the Rogue or a high-end guitar, but it's definitely a little above average for your baseline guitar. That's little Blackie. She loves to play the guitar. So, yeah, so other than that, they don't seem to have a whole lot of finishing on the end of the frets, but they're smooth enough, and obviously I haven't done anything to these. I did almost 0 mods to this. It still has, you know, no strap locks or anything. All I did was the Esquire changes. So, but like I said, this thing hung on the wall for a while before I decided to turn into an Esquire, and I did, of course, you know, when I first got my hands on it, I played it and set it up and everything like that, and you know, it's a strat. Strats sound like strats. Strats behave like strats. You put it in the bridge and you get the strat bridge sound. You put it in the neck and you get the strat neck sound. You put it in the middle and you get the strat middle sound. It's not super complicated. Obviously, baseline hardware and electronics. So nothing to write home about, but it gets the job done. You get a 3-ply on the pickguard. Let's see what else we got going on here. It's just got the small strap locks on it. It does have the plastic underneath the neck plate, like most of the import guitars do. And yeah, it's a 1-piece body. Yeah, let's see, construction here. Yeah, we got a maple neck, we got a maple fretboard, and it's a 1-piece basswood body. Had to actually go look that up. I also had to look up the name of the color. But yeah, it's a 1-piece basswood body, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful graining. Very nice striping there, you know. Very nice, very nice. It's a pretty guitar. You know, I bought it for looks, and this is one of the ones where it was just as nice as it was pictured. It was just as nice. And, you know, in the photo, I was so blown away by the overall look of the guitar, I didn't notice that gap. But, yeah, the gaps are in the photos, too. So, if you get one of these, you can, I don't know, get the right size bridge, remove the bridge, or whatever you want to do, get the different screws. So I've actually, when I've converted one of these from to a 6 saddle, I've had to get long screws for the 6 saddle, for the longest saddles, and it works. It works. I had to get online and figure out what size the screws were and stuff like that. And I don't know, you know, a number whatever by this many threads per inch, but I got matching screws, and I'm down to 2 now, so I should get some more. Cause yeah, But actually, I mean, I've got a ton of 3-saddle bridges sitting around, but I've figured out I'm on my building and collecting of guitars. I'm trying to limit myself to one of each, and I've got all the teles I need to do one of each now. So this is the Esquire. So, let's see, what else do we get here? You've got the finish. The finish is, it's either dyed or stained, or it could be some kind of a translucent paint or lacquer or something like that. And then it's got probably a epoxy resin finish over this, because that seems to be the new trend in mass production guitars. Yeah, I think that covers pretty much everything. It's, you know, of course, being a T-type, it's got the 25.5-inch scale length, and it's a 12-inch radius fretboard, and it's got a real smooth finish on the back. The carve is just what you would expect it to be. It's kind of a, you might describe as a modern C or a modern tele kind of a carve for the back of the neck. The headstock is what it is. And yeah, this still has original trees and everything on it, so yeah, that's the basic guitar, and that's what I started with. And then the mods really were quite easy. You only need 2 parts. You need an Esquire pickguard, and then you need the cap or capping or caps and resistor, depending on which circuit you're going to put in for the 3rd position on the switch. And that's really only in it, and maybe a little extra wire. And that's all the parts you need in order to do this mod. And to tell you the truth, this is a really freaking cool mod. I gotta tell you, this thing is just, this is where some of Leo's clever electronics shines out. Because this is Leo's very, very first guitar. This is what you got here, basically. This is, except, okay, now look. The original one was black pickguard and white lacquer, nitro cellulose lacquer, I guess. And I bought the white lacquer and everything, and I was going to take one of these and scuff it down and re-squirt it and everything. And then I had this nice yellow one. I was like, man, you know, maybe I'll just use the yellow one and be lazy. I'm so sick of finishing guitars instead of building guitars, you know. I like to build guitars. I don't like to paint them. I don't like to clear coat them, I guess would be the best way to put it. It's okay, you know, staining them and painting them's not that bad when I actually do paint, but clear coating is just, oh God. I mean, I love the result. I want all my guitars to look, you know, just like this with some really nice, deep, beautiful clear coat on it, but I'm too lazy, really, to tell you the truth, So yeah, so anyway, so the mods. So basically you get your hands on a tele. And since I was going to do an Esquire, I tried to find something that was, you know, all original, so it had a single coil here, and it had three saddle bridge. And then you need the pickup, and then you need the cap or caps and resistor for your number 3 position. Give me a sec, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's how to do the mod. This mod is actually so easy. It's another one of these mods that you don't even have to demonstrate. You can just explain it. You get your pickguard, and you need a cap, or the resistor and the two caps. The original circuit, as I recall, was 0.05 MFD for two caps and a 330k ohm resistor, and they put a resistor and a cap in series, and then ran those two in parallel with the other cap, and they ran it from hot to ground when you're on position 3. And then the circuit changed to just a cap, and then the circuit changed back to two caps and a resistor over the lifetime of this particular model of guitar. I think they made them from, like, I don't know. They made them for a few years, but yeah, the actual circuit changed a couple times, and then also not only did the circuit change, but in between the circuit changes, apparently they were playing around with the cap values that they would use from, one model year to the next or whatever. So it's kind of open a debate as to exactly what wiring is quote-unquote correct for an Esquire, but the 2.05 MFDs and a 330k ohm resistor seems to be what the original 1950 had. And unfortunately, I didn't have a 330k, or I didn't have, actually I didn't have either the caps or the resistor in order to implement that particular circuit to check it out. I just kind of swapped in different caps I had on hand. And then the pickguard was, I don't even remember, $10, $15 maybe, something like that. So all you do is you take your stock tele type and you remove the pickguard, and you take the control plate off so that you have access to everything. You unsolder the neck pickup. Where are we at here? Neck pickup. Get my cigarette out of the way here. Okay, yeah. You'll unsolder your neck pickup from your volume control or switch, wherever it is. Wiring can vary on these things. So anyway, yeah, you unsolder your neck pickup, and then you can take the whole neck pickup and the pickguard and set all that aside. That's extra parts. And then you get your new pickup, which has no neck cutout, and you can bolt that on. And then all the rest of it is just rewiring this stuff, basically. And the way it works, really, it's kind of interesting because, alright, well, A, the way it works as a guitar is interesting, and B, the way it's wired is also interesting. So let's start with the way it works as a guitar. Here, you're straight through. There's another term for it. Blast switch or direct switch or something like that. But yeah, this is what it is. Basically, here you got your bridge pickup is hot wired directly to the jack through the volume only. No tone control whatsoever. All you have is a volume. Then if you go here, then you've got a normal bridge strat thing going on with the volume and tone. And then if you go here, you kick in this like pre-programmed hard-coded capacitor or capacitor resistor circuit that gives you one specific tone, and this does nothing. You still have volume, and you have volume on all three settings, but the tone only works in the middle. So here you've got one specific dampened tone or toned down. Here you've got straight through, and here you've got regular tone control. Now, when you go here, I was just the other day watching, probably for the second time, Robert Baker's video on his collection, and he has a real Esquire. And in the sound demos that he did, and that guy can play for sure. I only watch the guys who can really play, and he's one of my recommended channels for getting a viewer's perspective on guitars and stuff. So yeah, the guy knows what he's talking about. Check him out. So anyway, so Robert Baker has a real Esquire, and I was watching a video of it the other day, and on his, the cap on this one, on the tone control, is the same cap that he's got at the number 3 position. It sounds exactly the same as the tone turned all the way down. Now that would be the second type of circuit that they ran on it, because apparently at first they ran a parallel circuit where on one side it was a 0.05 cap, and on the other side it was a 0.05 cap and a 330k ohm resistor in series, and then they both go to ground, and that was the original 1950 wiring. And then later they went to a single cap, which is what his demonstrated, and I don't know what year his was. I don't think it was a 50. It might have been, 51 or 52 or something. But yeah, when he was here, he was like just the same as tone all the way down, which on this would be an 047 cap. So I tried a number of different caps for the number 3 position, and at one point I put an 047 there, and there was an 047 here, and I got exactly the same results that Robert Baker was getting out of his real Esquire. So if you want to set one up like his, I guess, or according to that particular model year, that would be the way to wire it. You'd use the same cap both on number 3 and on the tone. Now what I did though is I ended up using, instead of using an 047, I used a 22, because I'd seen online that apparently for some of the circuits or something, or some combination of circuits and which size cap they use, it had a not so loud and much heavier tone, and I found that I got that with the 22 MFD, the 0.22 MFD as opposed to 0.047 MFD capacitors. So I ended up wiring this one with a 22 at the number 3 position. So yeah, so now the wiring itself is actually quite interesting, because you go from the pickup, I gotta think about this for a sec. Yeah, okay. So the deal is that this 3-way is actually a 2-pole 3-way switch, a DP 3P 3T. Yeah, a 2-pole 3-throw. A 2-pole 3-way switch, which means basically you can put it in 3 positions, but it's actually 2 switches that can be wired as 1 in and 3 out, or being a switch, you can wire it backwards and wire it as 3 in and 1 out. And what you do is you go pick up, and then you go volume, and then you go 3-way split tone circuits, and then you go, hold on, yeah, no, sorry, pick up 3-way split tone circuits, then the volume, and then the jack, I think. Oh God, I can't remember. Which way did I wire this thing? Okay, it's one of the two. But the basic idea is that you're coming from one source, you're going to split it out 3 ways, depending on whether you want to go with a straight through, you want to go with a tone control, or you want to go with the cap. And then it's got to come back together in order to run out to the jack. So yeah, volume comes with 4 tones. So yeah, it goes pick up and then volume and then 3-way split. Yeah, so okay, the switch has 2 sides, an A side and a B side, let's say. So the way it works is you come from the pickup, you go to the volume control. Output of the volume control goes to the input of the A side of the switch. And the A side of the switch is wired as 1 in, 3 out. So you got your 1 in coming from your volume from your pickup, and your 3 out are your 3 tone circuits, with the first tone circuit just being a straight wire, a hot wire basically. The second tone circuit is your tone control, and the third tone circuit is your cap. And then each of the tone circuits comes off of the 3 outputs on this switch and goes to the 3 inputs on this switch, which is wired as 3 in, 1 out on the B side. It's all one switch, but yeah, the 3 outs of this side go through the 3 tone circuits and then go to the 3 ins, or the 3 ins of the B side. And then the output of the B side goes to the jack. So what you end up doing is you got a wire that's going straight from position 1 on the A side to position 1 on the B side. You've got your tone control is wired across position 2 from A to B, and then your cap is jumpered across position 3 from A to B, and that's the way it's wired. And you can, look this stuff up online. I went through and saw how they were done and did the pinouts and everything. I took electronics, but that's basically the best way that I could think of to wire this thing. So, and it of course works correctly. So, and it's very interesting, the number 3 with a 22, that dark sound that they mentioned online. It's very cool. It almost turns this into like a baritone or a bass or something. You did that with a little volume and you could almost get away without a bass in a band kind of thing. So yeah, hats off to Leo for some clever stuff there. And yeah, that covers the review, that covers the mods. This whole thing took me like maybe 6 hours from the time that I pulled it down off the wall and started taking it apart to getting online and figuring out all the wiring and stuff, and then actually wiring the thing up and testing it and playing it and things like that. So as far as like future mods, I don't know, I want to keep it kind of all Esquire I suppose I should get a more proper head stock type neck for it. And original fender style type tuners to make it more Esquire-ish. Do something about the bridge. Maybe some brass saddles. And then strap locks. And that'd probably be about it. Maybe roll the edges of the fretboard and round the fret end some, make it all buttery smooth. But that'd be about it, so. And these guitars are still, I tried to find an accurate lowest price online, but you can probably find them for $100 or less still. So I think I paid, maybe $75 for this thing, so. Definitely a pretty guitar, and it does the job and does what it's supposed to do. And this is like really about the only issue on it is the bridge doesn't quite match up with the scratch plate. And this scratch plate, it was the same deal with the OEM scratch plate. It didn't match up either. It lined up just the way this does, pretty much. So anyway, yeah, that's it. That's the Glarry GTL. What is this thing? Transparent Yellow Natural review / 1950 Esquire mod. And I think that's going to do it. I'm all caught up on videos for guitars. Finally. So, until the next build is done, which would probably be, I don't know. I got 4 in the paint shop, 1 waiting on parts. The Fender 12 parts might arrive. So, but whatever it is, until the next build, I'm starting on the curved tri-tail tuner version, no head tail tuner version. So I think I'm going to do it in a purple stain instead of a paint. And just make it more vintage since it's all weathered wood. But anyway, I'm rambling. Until the next video, how many times have I said that now? Until the next video, everybody have a good one. And yeah, stay safe and all that good stuff, right? Be kind to each other. See y'all later.